What up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here. It is Friday night. There may be demons attacking malls in Miami, but one thing for certain, we're here to review another movie here on the Friday Night Movie Club. And I'm back here with my cast of cohorts joining me once again for another Friday night movie show. We had our good buddy Rob Motto here for first time in a long time. And the first time I can actually remember, he's actually super excited about a film. How you doing tonight, Rob?
I'm doing great. I've seen Blazing Saddles probably over 40 times. I saw it like when I was 7 for the first time on VHS. And I think it's honestly because of movies like this that I'm not an uptight, SJW weirdo. So, thank you, Mel Brooks.
Mm-hmm. And then someone who is not an uptight SJW weirdo, but apparently hangs out
that last
with a
bit,
lot of them.
Mel Brooks.
I haven't seen my Call Me Friend in a while.
I'm pretty sure she's not the only one. But we're here tonight. It's Friday night. I'm glad that we landed on Blazing Saddles tonight. We may never land on Tremors, but at least we landed on one good movie here. That's on the wheel. Let us guys know right now that we are currently on YouTube. We're on Twitter or X, if you want to call it X. I don't know at this point. And then also on Rumble as well. But the first half of the show, first 30 minutes or so of the show will be on YouTube. Then we'll circle over to our Rumble side and our X side. So if you're not following us over there, you want to see the full movie with us here tonight, go over onto our Rumble side and to the Twitter side, and that's where you guys see the full movie. You get to see everything, but we're only going to be the first 30 minutes here. And I guess we should start off with kind of the discussion of news that broke earlier this week that just dumbfounded a lot of people, and it's the fact that I can't even say at this point Disney's doubling down or Star Wars is doubling down. They're just outright refusing to shift course whatsoever. This all started well over 10 years ago when Kathleen Kennedy took over Lucasfilm and told the whole world that the Force is female, and she's done everything in her power to make Star Wars as much as a feminine brand as she possibly can. And after, what was it, the Rise of the Skywalker came out with 2019, I believe. So about 5 years ago, that film came out. Absolutely, I think the downfall from like the first movie, which was Force Awakens, to Rise of Skywalker, has been massive. They lost a lot of money, lost a lot of interest in there, but hell, we're going all in because they're bringing Daisy Ridley back to play Rey again in another trilogy. So they're giving her another trilogy after the last trilogy didn't work, and we're hiring another feminist to direct this whole thing. So it's like I said, they just refuse to learn their lesson, and they're going down with the ship. So you see, this is from Breitbart Notes. He says Disney blunders into 2024 with a disaster man-hating Star Wars director. This is, I guess, the new director. I'm not sure if she's doing just one of the movies or she's in charge of like the whole series here. But I guess we'll find out just reading this article here. Only 4 days into the new year, because God loves us, the Disney grooming syndicate has already dealing with a crippling public relations disaster. Disney's reeling from the hideous big mouth Rachel Zegler, who I haven't heard that from her in a while, but I'm pretty sure Snow White is all kinds of in trouble at the moment. And her asinine, aggravating comments about the Snow White remake. I'm pretty sure that's not going to get any better as time moves on here. But here we are launching into 2024, and director Charmin Abed Chinoy. I don't know. It sounds Pakistani, so I'm not going to pronounce that correctly anyway.
It is
But
Pakistani.
yeah, no, that's what I figured. She caused even more damage to the Star Wars brand in a franchise that cannot afford to take another hit, but they're going to anyway. Thanks to the talentless Kathleen Kennedy, head of Lucasfilm, was supposed to be a surefire moneymaker for Star Wars, has delivered 2 chapters that are like 2 chapters a year. Disney's Marvel, which is also in a lot of trouble right now, but Star Wars hasn't released a feature film in 4 years. You have to think to yourself, too, when they spent billions of dollars to buy Star Wars from George Lucas, they were expecting to have like relentless Star Wars content under the gaze that everyone wanted to see it. And they bought it, they spent billions on it, and they have not gotten a return on their investment based on what they spent. And they hired the absolute worst person in charge to oversee this whole thing, and they refused to get rid of her. So, and of course, she's going to keep doing what she's going to do here. Like I said, the whole series has basically just become about Mary Sue's what was it, Lando Calrissian that got turned into pansexual at one point. Luke Skywalker became a child murdering grump, and like they just completely destroyed every shred of this series that you actually loved here. But then what we have here, so she told CNN that we're going into 24 right now, and it's about time that a woman has come forward to shape the story of a galaxy far, far away. So she's saying that it's about time that women had control of Star Wars, and my response to that is, what have we been doing the last 10 years? Like, hasn't you guys already been shaping this story? Have we not actually started shaping this story yet? Was the last 10 years just a preview of what's to come? And somehow we're going to get even worse from here. But every single film, with the exception of Solo, which is unironically the only project Star Wars related that Disney has come out and publicly buried because it wasn't a female lead for some weird reason. Talk about that here in a second. But if you look at, like I said, the sequels, Rogue One, the Star Wars Disney Plus projects like The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, all of them have been female led, and you've thrown a lot of women both in front and behind the camera ever since then. So once again, it's like, what are we doing here? But she's going to be in charge of the latest film that they're working on. They're bringing back Daisy Ridley. She'll they haven't announced when this film's actually going to be released, but this is going to be several years in the future. So I guess in 2027 we're going to get another Disney Star Wars film. Hopefully, maybe if something doesn't push it back, like the film being terrible or whatnot. But here we are. This is the life that we chose. This is the life that we live, and it's only getting better and better with time. So real quick, I guess we should jump in. Our good buddy Eddie Brock here, who is listening in the back stage right now. How you doing, Eddie?
How are y'all doing?
Doing good.
We were just talking about this in someplace else.
And here we are talking about it again.
I can't stand this director. I'll hold back.
We'll get to it here in a quick second. We also have Cider, who's strumming in right now. I'm pretty sure he has to get it set up here. And it better be
all right. So a little bit of backstory why Eddie and I are late. We were discussing the fabric of the universe and the purpose of God. Okay, that's why we're late. It was a very important conversation.
It was
right?
unbelievable. I mean, I really learned about things that I couldn't. My mind was expanded a lot.
So in other words, you two
like
got
my stomach.
high.
How high are you guys right now?
Did you
Why
take
don't you start the
DMT?
movie and find out, huh?
Yeah.
Start the movie and find out.
Yeah, I'm not high at all. Just my hair seems to be a little.
He's high on life.
Yeah, life and lots of drugs.
I can't feel my toes though, so I'm the other kind of high.
That was it half baked? Those damn potheads sound clip. I'm gonna have to add that to you just for you too.
Yeah, man.
I think the degree of highness, if you use that term, it seems to be based on hair length. So the more hair you have, the higher you are.
That's
I just got way more hair than me, man.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
you're like second, and then I think Rob's facial hair counts, and then there's me.
Yeah, my hair
But
tapped
you,
out a
Rick,
long
but
time
both
ago.
Rick and Rob look really handsome, like really like shaven and everything. I look a mess. I'm a vanity plate over here.
Well,
Funny.
just a quick little sidebar before I actually go to Rob here. Rob was out of all the ones, so I had to create the anime intro for. Rob was the actually easiest one to convert to an anime character. All you other guys just had weird facial features. For some reason, the AI kept thinking Cider was a woman, and that's not even a joke. Like I had to do it 8 times to get one that even looked like a dude. So take that for what it is. But anyway, back to Star Wars and the Force being female. Rob, what is your take on, I guess, Disney just continuing to be like, hey, we're gonna whack it to the wheels fall off, as Nate Dogg once said.
Growing up, I had all the Kenner toys, and like every time I went to my grandparents' house, I literally watched Star Wars. I loved this franchise. I had the book of characters, about the extended universe. I genuinely feel bad for anybody that's still watching this and expecting anything but shit out of it. You know what I mean?
He
And
means Star Wars, not this stream.
And look, I work with a guy who who defends episode 1. You know what I mean? And it's like, even the prequels, even though they were bad, were still miles better than where the franchise is currently. You know what I mean? And that's saying that's an awful it's an awful realization. So at this point, I just kind of feel bad for the fans. They're gonna run this into the ground. They're convinced that they need to put this the Force's female centric sort of universe out there with no story ideas. So it's going to not only is their product going to fail, it's actually like anti-feminist if you really think about it, because if you actually cared about women, you would write good stories for them to be in and to lead, but you're not interested in that, and you're interested in pushing propaganda and your ideology. So the future looks really bleak for this franchise, unless somebody comes in and buys it and changes it or the direction. I don't see it happening, because Disney can kind of keep going for a while. I mean, maybe eventually they'll fail, but at this point, we'll see.
Yeah, Rick, I'll shoot this one over to you. I mean, I know I said this a while back ago, but it's just even knowing that this is the direction that they were going in, it's still like a whole different thing to actually see it. I said this like a couple years back, that Disney will be the absolute last one to go down with the ship. It's like, while everyone else is jumping off because they're losing like a whole bunch of money, like Disney will die on this. This is what we care about. We care about ideology more than money. And if we lose billions of dollars, then we'll just lose billions of dollars. Like, they do not care, and they are not listening to anyone who is remotely a fan of Star Wars to correct this ship. So it's like, to me, I'm just watching like a plane go down, and they're just ignoring all I guess instructions to pull it back up.
Well, my first question is, when are we getting the Rose Tico spin-off series or movie?
You
'Cause,
keep
she
laughing, but I mean, you will get a Rose Tico Disney Plus show in a couple of years. It's going to happen.
It will
could
happen.
be. Look, my view is quite simple. I don't think anyone generally cares if a female directs it or if a person of color directs it. The problem is that they hired someone with very little to no actual feature filmmaking experience because she was a female and because she was a person of color. Somehow this is supposed to inspire, I guess, little, you know, Kamala Khan types from Ms. Marvel, and I believe she directed a couple of those episodes, to pursue directing. It's not it's not the gender or the ethnicity of the director. It's that they are throwing a massive project towards someone who has virtually no actual experience, solely on the basis that this person is a female and a person of color. That's the issue here. It wouldn't matter if the director had a track record, or a female or a minority. It's that she doesn't have a track record, so they're only giving it to her because she's a Pakistani woman. I mean, why not get the actress who played Kamala Khan to direct this movie? That's pretty much the same logic here.
Right.
Yep. Like I said, Eddie, you guys were just talking about this a second ago, so I'll go ahead and hit this over with you. I mean, what's your thoughts on more female Star Wars stuff? After, like you said, you have to think back. The Force Awakens was something like about $2 billion because everyone wanted to see the new Star Wars film, and then I think the very next film lost somewhere between 700 and 900 million off of that box office, and then of course by that point with the Last Jedi, they had fractured the fan base to such a degree that when Rise of Skywalker came out, it was nowhere near where they were expecting. Like it only went down about nearly $1 billion, and they don't even acknowledge it. So
Absolutely. And I'm as crazy as my hair is, I'm not trying to say I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I think a lot of this might have something to do with just trying to bring Disney down to the point where they can be like Rob said, or Rick, or Rob said, they could probably be bought off, or they can be get somewhere else to deal with them. I am high, so give me 1 minute here. That being said, this woman that's going to be directing, I mean, she's going to be a first timer. This is her first time ever directing this kind of a movie in general. She's only a documentarian, and all of her stuff has a bit of a twinge of political, has a political slant on a lot of things. I can understand that documentary, but the thing is here, and this is where my conspiracy theory kind of goes in, is that she's also apparently a chair member of the IWF, of the WEF, the World Economic Forum.
yeah.
And I mean, they have an agenda that seems to be aligning a lot of things with, how Star Wars and these people who are taking over Star Wars and Disney in general have been going along these past few years. And that's what I'm afraid of, is that we're going to have a director who has this concept of what a third world universe may possibly look like. And she might bring this kind of a world into Star Wars to just make, life worse for everybody else, and, scold you maybe about it. I don't know.
Like I said, it just feels like that they're committed to this whole thing of anyone who opposes us they just hate women, so we're just gonna double and triple down and everyone be damned. But Cider, you seem to think that if Star Wars was more like this, then they can bring the males back.
Well, see, I love women, right? I love women. I absolutely love women. See, my father taught me an important lesson when I was a young boy. He says, you don't want to be a man among men. You want to be a man among women. All right? So I think Star Wars would be better served, right, if they embraced what makes women great. And that's their boobs, right? Everybody can admit, like a great lady has great tits, right? Every great lady has. Lady Catherine, look at the rack on that lady. Margaret Thatcher had a set of bangers. I'll tell you what, okay? So you take a look at Rey here, right? A boob job on Daisy Ridley, run Rey through the next trilogy with no underwear on a very breezy day. I think you got it. I think it's a win. She doesn't even have to do a lightsaber battle. She can just stand on a beach while the breeze plays with her skirt for an hour. It'd be great. You can put all the spooky da 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 noise while like the skirt's like lifting up a little bit, then the wind cuts it back down again. It would be great.
I can say this as someone who just recently watched The Merch King's Daughter with Daisy Ridley. As much as we love the fantasy of Daisy Ridley having any kind of curves whatsoever, in that film she looks like Slenderman with a wig. So I don't know if that's the right representation.
Fantastic. By the way, thank you, Cider, for making me imagine Margaret Thatcher's Bangers and Mash.
Mm-hmm.
You're very welcome.
So
yeah,
think
Maggie who's behind me is probably very proud of you guys.
I think this is what the Madam Web movie is going for, by the way. And maybe I'm telling on myself a little bit here because I'm this much looking forward to it just because I have a thing for Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney, and they're both in it. So I'm holding out hope it's not going to be terrible, but that's kind of like, are they going this way? Probably not, but we'll see.
I can only hope. Come on.
I don't think they'll be doing any ritual dances in the Amazon.
This would be empowering for women. This would be very empowering for them.
Especially without underwear. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
But we don't want the male gaze. Is what,
No. They don't want the male gaze.
No. They don't want to admit that they want the male gaze. You got to get into this Russian nesting doll far enough, fellas.
Or they're just selling. They're just selling directly to the male gaze.
Maybe they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on this because now that they lost the rights to Steamboat Willie, they've got insane.
I just want to point out something, okay? Every woman that Kathleen Kennedy has ramrodded into a franchise that's meant to be her as a self-insert has smaller boobs than her. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Who has she inserted? Was it Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
Ray and Phoebe Waller-Bridge and a couple of like a Rosario Dawson. Yep.
What's her name?
It seems like Kathleen Kennedy is a fan of the A cups. I'll just put it that way.
Well, see, this thing, I got told about this a long time ago. It's a boob envy thing that women compete over this. That a woman with a larger chest is often hated by other women simply because she has a larger chest. So I have a feeling that Kathleen Kennedy was like, I want to do a self-insert, but not that bad. And so she went and found ladies who are a little less robust in the bust, if you will.
Right.
You can have strong females who are proud of their bodies and proud of themselves. I don't think that you need to desexualize them to the point of them being what androgynous. I don't know if the right word for it. So yeah, I don't know.
This is and I've said it on a few of the bar rooms with the whole like trying to turn women into men and men into women. It's this gender neutrality, and you see it's like it's a mental illness of like, hey, look, you can like a girl with short hair, but we're taking this to the point where we're making women into men, into these like classically heroic examples, and none of them work, by the way. And you know, all of the men are weak or like contemptible or pieces of shit. You know what I mean? So. And we've seen this pattern. We've seen it in the comic book IP movies, the Harley Quinn movie, where it's like, I would be further in my career if it wasn't for men. And it's like, you know, and you heard that in Barbie too, you know, and it's just like,
even worse, the really like disingenuous, like actress like in her 40s talking about, yeah, I don't like the fact that I was sexually profiled when I was in my 20s, when that was literally what made your career 20 years ago. Now you're just mad that no one's profiling you anymore.
Profiling harder.
I'm just saying, Illuminati explains everything.
So,
go ahead.
So, Leslie, you say that, okay, Leslie Tarkin says big boobs prevent ladies from swinging a lightsaber. Now, you say that like it's a bad thing. Maybe that's my intention.
What if they're like tassel sabers? Like she like floated her boobs.
You know what? They did the umbrella lightsaber in that anime Star Wars thing, so why not the nipple tassel lightsabers? Right. You know, they gave Rey the dildo sabers. So not Rey, Ahsoka, the dildo sabers.
Didn't in one of the Star Wars movies they had a female voice, one of the villains, like one of a
Didn't they give it to the robot that was having sex with Lando?
Oh, yeah. I thought the robot was pansexual or andro.
Yeah, that was it. He had sex with the robot.
Sexual, refrigerator sexual, anything with a plug, man.
No,
he said before you say anything, it was great, is what he added to that too. So
right,
that's one heck of a D drive.
But the real question is, will Kathleen Kennedy release the Star Wars Holiday Special on Disney Plus?
No,
we need that. We need a Criterion version of the holiday special.
I will say this
with the commercials included.
Yes.
Remember, I mentioned earlier that they buried that Han Solo movie. Like they threw the actor under the bus, even like buried it after the fact. They pretend like that was their only bad project because it was the only one that wasn't led by a woman. But they went as far as to claim that Eldon Ehrenreich couldn't even act, saying that he needed acting lessons just to play like Han Solo. And then all of a sudden, here he is. He gets redeemed 5 years later with a Christopher Nolan movie where he's arguably one of the best actors in the entire film, if not the person who steals the film itself. So I'm glad to see that he came around and give a big FU to everyone that
it's almost like Disney sucked.
But it took a long time for Alden Ehrenreich to make come back, and he's still in his late 20s, maybe early 30s.
It was a bit of a false. Right? It was a bit of a false narrative though, because he's in Hail Caesar in a pretty memorable role, at least for the people that saw it. I know it's not one of the Coen brothers' bigger movies, but before Solo, like he was in Hail Caesar, and he got all that bad press, and he's like he did a great job this year. He was in Fair Play. Netflix movie where he was pretty good in it, even though it kind of sucked. And then he was great in Oppenheimer later on.
Yeah.
Well, no, I do believe those stories about him needing acting lessons. Remember, if memory serves correct, he was discovered performing some sort of shtick at a bar mitzvah. That was how he got discovered.
Where the
Like,
hell
he
am
was
I?
doing like in a little comedy routine for a bar mitzvah, and I think
He's
Steven
like, what am I
Spielberg saw
doing
it.
wrong?
Right, I gotta do
And
more
Well-
bar mitzvahs.
Well, no, you're not accepting Satan into your heart and eating babies. That's
my
the
God.
problem.
That's right.
Like, look, I've been trying not to go
The
too
rabbi
hard.
already took. Plus, the rabbi already took the tip.
I've been trying not too hard to go into the Cat Williams stuff because we are going to be talking about it on the Barroom podcast. But there's
gosh.
so many layers to that story.
Look, guys,
They wanted my booty.
guys, let's keep things kosher around here.
Okay.
That's going to be my comment on that. But
What, the
look,
Illuminati?
I'm someone who wasn't convinced that Alden Ehrenreich was right for the role. I think he doesn't look like Harrison Ford. He's considerably shorter, but in fairness to him, he was hampered by a bad script. It was hampered by a bad script. So it can't be all on Ehrenreich. I'm glad he's made something of a comeback now, and he's being praised. He's not going to get nominated, but at least he's going to be in a big ensemble film. So good on him. I wish him the best.
Some people deserve it.
I wish him the worst. No, anyway. I'll bring
It's a
this up
brand
here
new
just
year.
real
You
quick.
could be happy for a couple of days.
Do you guys remember this? This was almost 5 years ago. There was an artist on Twitter. I'm not sure anyone remembers this controversy, but someone had did like a fan art of Ray, and this thing went viral because it was literally just so many people complaining about how big her boobs
Oh,
was.
I
Wow.
remember this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like dude literally like went viral.
You know,
And then
Kathleen Kennedy hated this fucking picture.
Oh yeah, like literally, like and then the dude like even like doubled down and like did like another one. He did like a whole
Double
like
down,
series of
E.
yeah,
Mhm.
innuendo, dude.
Double down the
Like,
D's.
But I mean, hey, if you want to save Star Wars, this would be a good start because that's pretty much the only thing you could do at this point.
I'm
But-
telling you. It worked for Twitch.
Yep.
The
Truly
yeah,
did.
the Force has greater powers than we gave it credit for. It can
Right.
expand. It can expand your your.
Look, you got
We've
Force Lightning. You got Force Life Revival powers. You got Force Jumps, and you got Force Titties now. It's great.
Yep.
I'm
We've all
practicing
seen
my
Weird
Force-
Science.
Yes,
practicing my
we
Force-
did here. We saw it here.
We did.
Practicing my Force groping powers.
I want to see a picture of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau wearing bras on their heads. Well,
But here's
Yeah,
the
see,
thing.
If you're gonna do a new trilogy, then this should be what it looks
Oh,
like,
she's a
right?
Sith.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Now.
She's a Sith.
Big titty Sith Ray. All right.
Mhm.
I like
All
that
right.
one. That's much better.
That's a very dark side.
I can believe
Yes,
this storyline
Leslie,
too.
thank you. May the boobs be with you. That's what you need to say this year on May 4th. When someone
Mhm.
says, may the force be with you, you look at them in the eye and you say, no, may the boobs be with you.
Mhm.
And
In
then
a-
he'll cry
Look,
because
use
he's Star
the
Trek, man.
boobs.
perhaps in a more serious question, why are we going to continue the adventures of Rey? She wasn't beloved, as far as I can tell. At least the other characters in the first series were. Han Solo,
As-
we all loved
As
him.
Tony
Princess
Schiavone
Leia.
would once say, she didn't put any butts in seats.
So why are we continuing with the further adventures of Rey Skywalker? And she's
Because-
going to be, she's going to have a protege, like, and now you've got to make the protege interesting because the movie can't be centered around Rey. She eventually has to give
Pass
up
it on.
her prominence to whoever she takes under her wing.
She could be like Rocky.
So, according to those leaks that came out, because I remember this, Mr. Trent talked about it for a little while. The leaks that came out is that what they were trying to accomplish was the Greys are going to be the new good guys. Rey's story is about to take place in a galaxy that's rejected the Jedi, kind of like how all cops are bastards. Remember that thing that went around?
Mhm.
That's how the Jedi are being treated. Is that they
Mm.
failed to protect and preserve or whatever, and the Empire had a better way, and then they screwed it up, and now chaos is back, and people are being hurt. So in come the Greys, and the Greys' message is, do what you want, but don't do evil. And evil is what the Sith do, but you don't have to live as rigid as those Jedi did. You can be like angry and channel your passion and have a girlfriend, even if your dad says no. You know,
it's like literally saying "do as thou wilt," but don't do anything evil though. But it's like,
Well, thank God.
I don't think you understand the message there.
and that's so the other part of this is that her apprentice is supposed to be more powerful than she is. Okay, so that's how this is supposed to work. And then also they wanted to make Idris Elba the Sith leader. That Rey has to fight.
Racist. That's racist. Why?
I don't know. When a white woman defeats a
villain?
black man, is that racism?
No, I make him
don't
the
know.
dark side of the Force guy. What's up with that?
Oh,
it's
okay.
the African American side of the Force. Thank you.
Well,
He's
for what it is,
British.
Darth Vader. For what it is, Darth Vader was a beautiful black man, but turned out to be white inside. So
That's true.
Yeah.
He's like
Yeah.
proto Barack Obama.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, all of these photos are way better movies than what we're gonna get. I don't know why we're
can't wait.
giving ourselves hope. It's gonna happen.
And then we're going to spin them off into more Disney Plus shows that we're gonna have to watch. Or
Ryan
not.
Johnson's going to get a trilogy. It's going to be great. And Rogue
Yeah.
Squadron's going to come out last year.
And
It'll be
David
great.
Coven is gonna get a trilogy, and then everyone's just gonna get a trilogy.
We're
This
probably
is
good.
the genuine truth here is that Star Wars has made better video games in the last 20 years than a single good movie. I just want to
They've
they've
made
that
better,
we're going.
they made better
reality.
Star Wars games on the PS2 than they've had actual good movies in that time.
I
period.
still play X-wing and TIE Fighter.
Mhm.
Well, I will say,
Battlefield's a really good game, so they exist.
yeah, but since I don't play video games, I will say that with Rise of Skywalker, was it J.J. Abrams? He was caught in an impossible situation trying to clean up the disaster that came with what was it, whatever there was, the Force Awakens or whatever the second part was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
because
there
what
was-
happened was J.J. Abrams came on and handed Ryan Johnson some notes about where to take the trilogy, and then Ryan Johnson took those notes and smashed them with a sledgehammer, and then gave it back to the other guy, Colin Farrell. Was like, "Good luck with this one." He was like, "No, fuck this, I'm out." So then J.J. Abrams had to come back with like super glue and put his notes back together, and that's how we ended up getting Rise of the Skywalker.
You know what would have improved the Force Awakens if we find out at the
Everything
end
else.
that the villain was that Foghorn Leghorn that Daniel Craig always plays, that detective.
Mhm.
He transferred into that world. I can't remember his name.
Benoit
whatever his-
Blanc.
Benoit Blanc. And then he comes in with his partner, and then they bring balance to the Force.
It's like, look, I hate to point this out, and it's so cringe. These people are so out of touch. Remember when they released the trailer for, what was it, the Rise of the Skywalker, and it's the scene where like Rey is like in the middle of the desert, then she hops over the fighter. It was like, oh my god, that's gonna be so cool. People are gonna love it. Like you can see like the executives thinking that was like the oh my god moment of the trailer, and it just fell flat as a rock.
But it's always interesting that the very first Star Wars movie, that one was a deliberate throwback to the serials from the 30s and 40s that they grew up with and put in with a space age kind of veneer. These it's an intent. Well, I guess they were intending it to be a trilogy, but they weren't. But they weren't exactly planning it out to like such an extent. And even if they were, it looks like the plan kind of went off the rails somewhere. It's been pretty bad. I think
you can argue it's been off the rails from the jump.
yeah,
mean,
I think after what was it, Return of the Jedi, I think that really should have been the end of it. The prequels have not been helpful.
This is still the best thing Star Wars has done in the past 20 years.
Humor, unless you ace, I'm Han Solo. Okay? You're not. You're just not.
Yeah, why can't Alden Ehrenreich do that dance?
It's a snap, see? It's a snap. They literally rewrote the song, I'm riding solo,
Yep.
to be about Han Solo's life, in which the chorus is, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo, I'm Han Solo.
Writing solo.
I'm waiting for B. Author to pop up in that section too. because she
I don't-
owns the cantina.
And then he has
I
that
don't know.
stupid necklace that doesn't
And then
have
there's
any
Grandpa
connection to
Itchy's
anything.
hollow porn that we have to like
The
deal
Wookiee
with.
porn.
too, so,
The Wookiee
yeah.
porn.
It wasn't even Wookiee porn. It was like a Wookiee looking at a human woman porn. So that's even more questions that I have now.
It's like The Shining, like with the bear scene in The Shining.
There,
Yeah.
you could actually see Diane Carroll almost on screen. Like, please get me out of this. How did
You know
I
what I
manage
wanna
to get
see?
here?
I want to see like a street gang of Yodas talking shit. Like a teenage group of Yodas talking shit, with like little like flip knives, like cut you I will, make you my bitch I'm going to, that's you muted.
When Yoda was fighting, was it Count Dooku in one of them, and he breaks out the lightsaber in the theater that I attended, the audience just burst out laughing. I don't know if that was the intention.
But you need like one of those like
Tiny
little
light.
cute characters to sell toys, or else it's not going to work.
I just
It's not
started-
gonna be
Ooh, tiny
authentic Disney.
Kaiba
When I saw
crystals.
that, when I saw that in theater, I thought of Speedy Gonzalez. They screamed at
Teenage Mutant Ninja Yodas. Yes, that's great.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Yodas.
Yes.
This whole thing has gone off the
Where
rails.
my question is,
Bunga the
where are the Ewoks in all of this? I'm still waiting for the Ewoks to return to to part of one
Well,
of these films.
do you remember Red Letter Media's little like theory about what they should do with Palpatine when he was announced to come back before Rise of Skywalker? So what they said was that Palpatine should be like this mummified kind of half corpsey thing that's using the Force to mind control the Ewoks on the planet to worship him as some kind of death god, and he should be like some like horrible puppeteer that can't move anymore, but he's using his mind to control these Ewoks on the
He's
planet.
the wizard. He's the wizard. Run, look behind the curtain.
Right.
I think that 2 of the Ewok films are on Disney Plus. So
We
I
don't
might
have Jedis, and I think that's a crime, considered they made a rock geode a Jedi. Okay, there is a rock that is an actual rock.
I would literally
Rainbow
rather
Rock.
watch a
Rock.
movie where Geodude is a Jedi than whatever Disney is going to give us in 2027.
I do too. Now that you've said it, I want to see that. Too.
Absolutely.
Like I said,
Rock,
we
paper.
can all hope.
Rock, paper, force.
Yep. Well, with that said, let's go ahead and get to our movie here. Now, this movie, just in case you guys hadn't realized, is set in 1974. So before we get ready, let's go ahead and watch some commercials from the year 1974. And let's see if any of these commercials are about products that are still around to this very day, or we can look back at just how quickly our country has fallen since we left the gold standard. So let's go ahead and watch.
Come on,
It's all that
Calgon.
gold standard.
Come on, Calgon.
One
Calgon,
of
take me
these 2
away.
furniture polishes is the one Mrs. Peterson uses at home, but she doesn't know it.
Very definitely, this one
Why
on
you
the
say
right,
that?
because it's almost clean.
Incidentally, what do you use at home?
I pledge.
Well, let's see what this one is, all right?
You're
I
kidding.
forced my children to do
What's
it,
this
actually.
one? Behold. Tell you, Behold must be pretty good.
Can I show you one more thing?
Cheaper and got the dirt off much quicker.
What does that mean to you?
I'd say I've been using Pledge for years and never realized that Behold works better and it's cheaper.
I guess
Remember when
Frodo's
people
gonna be
had-
working that now.
Remember when people had furniture to polish?
Hey, you're missing my garage sale.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still waxing.
Whoa.
You wax every week. You're going to drown your furniture. It's the dust. Well, use Endust. Endust? I'll be right over.
What's that?
Watch.
This is how I get rid of my
picks up
husband.
the dust and leaves the old wax looking like new. It really brightens, and it's faster than waxing. My garage sale.
And dust for
Mr. Colin
between
Taylor.
waxings. Faster for you, good for your furniture.
Went into a store and asked for a pretty good lighter.
That Judd Hirsch?
They sold me this.
Yep, it is.
He's got a taxi to catch. He's got a cab to
That's a
catch.
pretty good lighter.
How
Big
did
you
he
think?
get nominated for the Fablemans?
If this lighter
It was
were
a
gold or
cameo.
silver,
It was
obviously I'd like it a
not
lot
even
more.
8 minutes.
But for $1.49 and thousands of lights, it's a pretty good lighter. Big butane.
Yeah, the thousands of lights. Know what you can do?
Henry's really having
my nose off.
For about 49.
Henry's really having trouble with the concept of polishing furniture.
Yeah, back when you could.
What would you do if a bunch of kids stormed into your kitchen yelling, "We're hungry"? Well, that's easy. You
I got
get
the hell out of my house!
Already it comes in a bunch of delicious flavors. And now there are even more new varieties to choose from. Now, here's just one of them, new spring vegetable. All you do is
Spring
add
vegetable bouillon? I
boiling
love
water.
this.
Are those? I thought those were
Just
teas.
like this. It makes up fresh every single time right in the cup, instantly. And you've
Children
got
are gonna love this
real
soup Jello I'm making.
vegetable soup made with 8 garden vegetables. So next time you've got a bunch of hungry kids, remember, Lipton cup of soup comes
Throw it
a
in their
bunch
face and
of
everything.
new varieties.
I had it coming.
I'm glad that idea
Introducing
died
Banaka
out quickly.
mouthwash. It's so strong, we offer these words of caution regarding its proper use. Grasp the bottle firmly. Open, pour gently. Then, before using, put the bottle down.
It looks like he's drunk.
Repeat, put the bottle down. Now you're ready
Put it to you
for
this
the
way: there's
Banaka
aspects of the '70s that I like, and there's aspects I don't like.
Yeah, like the economy was terrible.
The Banaka Blast.
Yeah.
I've never
The
heard of
blast
this
with taste.
product.
Nothing beats Banaka peppermint schnapps.
Our one-a-day
That's what I
girl is
usually
getting
end
to
up
be
having.
quite a woman, and I help her all I can. I know she needs extra iron as much as I do. So to be sure we get it, the only thing we trust is one-a-day brand multiple vitamins
Well, hey,
plus
there's something
iron.
that's still
10
around.
vitamins
Yep.
plus iron. All the extra
Plus
iron
iron.
most women need to help stay healthy.
Anya Hardy
We're
took the
both
wrong
one-a-day
bubble with this
girls.
commercial.
Shouldn't you be a one-a-day girl too?
Wait, which one is he dating?
That was a cute.
You must be
Yeah.
Get out of my lawn! As long as there are husbands in winter, they're going to be cold. That's why I keep these medicines.
Especially if you use them for pleasures of the flesh.
Aspirin for aches
I'm a
and
dumb
pains
housewife.
and for fast
The
temporary
overlooked
relief
cabin.
of minor sore throat
Is she a
pain.
desperate
Good old,
housewife?
good old
Recommend
aspirin brand
medicated
aspirin.
Sucrets.
Let's go, Casey. My throat's a little sore.
You should have worn a
As long as
scarf.
there are husbands in winter, aspirin and Sucrets.
Make sure he
That's
takes
a
a shot of
Hallmark
red
movie
rum
waiting
with
to
it.
happen.
I'm making the same great-tasting stuffing in a pan that I used to make inside chickens.
In a pan? Have you lost your bird?
I'm
Oh,
using
God,
Uncle
it's a
Ben's
talking
stuffing
cock.
such.
It can't be that delicious.
It is, because Uncle Ben's makes it with the same delicious
Ooh,
ingredients
Uncle
I
Ben.
used.
Come on, you need me.
No, I don't. And I can serve stuffing such as a side dish with everything.
So,
Even
Uncle,
chicken.
That looks
Uncle
like so much
Ben,
shit on a
Chicken.
plate.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben and
That's
Aunt
the idea.
Jemima were not married, correct?
I don't know.
We shared a kid together.
Hello?
Linda, it's Mark again.
Oh, hi, Mark again.
How about tonight, Linda?
Oh, can't, Marky.
Every night shampoo?
That's
Oh,
cute.
gentle enough to use every night, Marky.
Look, if it's gentle enough to use every night, isn't it gentle enough to use every other night, too?
So?
You're
So,
talking about
I'm
Preparation
willing to
H?
share you with every night shampoo,
I'd like to
Linda.
kiss
Oh, not
you, but
tonight,
I
Marky.
just
My
washed my
name's
hair.
not Marky.
What is it then?
Mr. Reject.
Oh.
Every night shampoo, gentle enough to use every night so your hair looks better every day.
Why did he whisper that into my ear?
2 spoons, 3 spoons of water, 4 spoons, 5 spoons, 6 spoons of water.
Pillsbury's new Rich and Easy frosting is so rich, all you need to add is water, because Pillsbury puts in shortenings made especially for
Is
frosting.
there a remix of this song?
Rich.
Then you just add water.
That's what makes it easy.
Pillsbury's new Rich and Easy frosting mix and 6 spoons of water.
Only add
Make
water.
this frosting rich.
The high fructose corn syrup.
She looks
Yeah.
happy. You know, I like the fact that she's happy.
No, this is the
Feeling
70s.
so
Everything was just
good
pure
in the
sugar
morning.
back then.
When you
This is
have
the
that
70s.
big
This means
glass of
Fredo's in that boat.
That's gentle, Excedrin PM.
I love Yacht Rock. Are we
Dennis
going to
tension
have some of it
helps you
playing here?
relax for a good
I
night's
don't think
sleep.
you Yacht Rock
So the
existed
next
yet.
morning you should wake refreshed with no grogginess. Imagine feeling so good in the morning.
Oh,
When you
yeah,
had
that's
that
one of the
headache
things I
last
like
night.
about the Sirius XM app.
That's
You can listen to
gentle.
Yacht Rock.
Excedrin PM.
This is it.
Oh.
Apparently, there's a lot of people who had headaches back in the 70s.
If your child's cold sounds like this,
Give him
you're
some
probably
Excedrin.
just giving him aspirin. But aspirin alone can't help sniffles.
Wait,
That's why
didn't these people
Congesprin,
grow
the
up with
children's
like
cold
leaded
tablet,
gas?
combines children's
Like,
aspirin
leading the
plus
air? That's probably where the
decongestant
headaches
to
are
help
from. Full of
clear
brain
stuffiness
cancer.
and sniffles.
All the
Congesprin,
murder.
It's all the
it helps more
asbestos
than
in the
aspirin
classroom.
because it is more than aspirin. Hear how it works?
This doll doesn't look like me. I hate it.
Congesprin. Never heard of that.
That's my mother. She's a special guest at my party, so I'm serving something
Why do you have to look at the
special.
camera for that?
Ruffles potato chips. The brown with the ridges. You used to think Ruffles were just for
Ruffles
parties.
have ridges.
Didn't you, Mommy? But I like Ruffles potato chips all by
The mom can
themselves.
barely stand this
Those
child.
little ridges really taste good. I'm glad Ruffles have ridges.
She just really
But
had a
most
Raggedy Andy
Ruffles
fetish,
have
but
flavor.
Just like Captain
There are
Crunch,
contact
Ruffles
lens
cuts the top of your
solutions made
mouth.
for wetting, or soaking, or cleaning, or cushioning. And then there's LensMate, which does all these things.
this is
So
who
you
your
only have
father
to buy
approved of you of
one
marrying.
You can even use LensMate directly in your eyes to relieve discomfort or dryness.
Yeah,
And with
when
every
I had
package
glasses,
of
I never
LensMate you
wanted
buy,
contacts
you
because
get
I
a
was terrified
contact
of
lens
putting anything in
carrying
my
case
eyes.
absolutely free. LensMate, the single solution.
Does he sell
that makes
everything?
care of your
Didn't Johnny pay
contacts
him
simple
enough money?
and easy.
Oh, is that Ed McMahon?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Mary, you haven't said a word all morning.
I
It's
think
the
I'm getting a
LensMate.
cold or a touch of flu. Have you got something for my achiness?
Have I
Just
got
aspirin
something
and
for
horse
your
tranquilizers.
Vanquish is strong medicine containing 2 medically proven
Just
ingredients that
aspirin and the
relieve
common
aches and
cold.
reduce the fever of cold or flu.
Mary, have you got something for my achiness?
Have I got something for your achiness?
Try
That
Viagra,
sounds perverted.
aspirin.
Pains and fever of cold or flu.
That sounds
Vanquish is
rather
strong
strange.
medicine.
Come on. Have I got something for your achiness?
Suppose a diaper didn't have
Hey,
to look
what
like
the heck?
Suppose it looked more like a baby.
I can't
Wide
see
where
this.
a baby is wide, and not so wide where a baby isn't. And
What does that
suppose
mean?
it was made with soft, plushy folds that snuggled up to a baby's legs, so the diaper absorbed more and leaked less. Suppose you could choose between that diaper and this one. Wouldn't you choose baby-shaped Kimbies?
No.
What?
What are Kimbies?
I'm not even going to answer that because it's not going to go well.
I can't wear I can't wear baby-shaped diapers.
I guess Top Dog has a quick question for Rob here before we jump over. It says, who you got winning the Super Bowl? That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the Niners because I think they're the most balanced team on both sides of the ball. And Lamar Jackson finds a reason to shit the bed every time he has like this year. The Ravens have no excuses. They should be the favorites in the AFC. I think they might get upset though by either Cleveland or Buffalo, just because both those teams can play defense and run the ball. But it'd be so funny if Buffalo gets in this year because it's like it's their worst team, and it's just the Chiefs are crap. And we're kind of ending the year. I do kind of have to say that the play overall has kind of taken a dive this year, just because. And I don't know if it's because the quarterbacks are hurt on a lot of teams. I'm not sure what it is, but the officiating has been fucking terrible. So, but yeah, this is the last week of the regular season before the playoffs kick off.
Are the people who officiated the Cowboy Lions game also going to be in charge of the Super Bowl? Are they going to be making
They're
the
going to be
rulings?
punished, which is the NFL admitting that they totally screwed over the Lions in that game, and the Lions probably should be the 1 or 2 seed right now if it wasn't for that. But I mean, hey, there's football for you. Life sucks and then you die. So
The Super Bowl should be the Niners versus the Jets.
Why?
Because I want the Niners to blow them out.
Well, no, it's so that Cassie can be happy and Aaron
see?
Rodgers could wave to
Right.
the fans and he could get a ring without actually playing.
Right. It works out both ways for me. I love it. Go
There you
Niners.
yeah, look, Joe Namath sold his soul for Super Bowl III. They're never going to win another championship ever again. We just need to accept that and move on with our lives.
I thought he sold his soul for Gold Line or whatever he's trying to hawk on the TV nowadays on the infomercial.
No, his soul was left his dignity. For that.
I thought he sold his soul so he could guest star on the Brady Bunch.
Well, I would have sold my soul to stand next to Marsha.
Yeah. Football face. Anyway, let me just let you guys know right now that we're going to go over to the movie now. So here is the link to the Rumble stream also in the chat right now. We also have the link to the Twitter stream right now. If you want to watch the movie with us, go over to Rumble and go over to Twitter right now because we're going to be cutting things off here on YouTube. So just so you guys know, if you want to go watch a movie, you have the links. Join us over there. We will see you guys shortly. Until then, we're going to give you guys a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, and they're gone. Okay.